Hey folks, this is a quick video comparing the VB50 V-mount battery from SmallRig to the VB99 Pro. I was recently shopping for one of these batteries to add to my cinema rig setup, and I was just trying to get a feel for which one would be the best pick for my use case. I initially ordered the VB50, and I have to say I really dig the form factor. And I was like, if the VB99 is too big, that's going to be a deal breaker, because I didn't want something that's excessively huge. To give you an idea of what this V-mount battery looks like attached to my FX30 on this SmallRig V-mount cage, that's the profile that I'm working with there. Pretty freaking nice. It's not bad by any means. It's really sleek. I could really remount this cage and have it snug to where it's right up against the back of the battery. But yeah, pretty nice. So that's what you're looking like there. And then if I go ahead and swap this out with the VB99, this is the profile that we're looking like. So there are a few subtle differences between these two batteries. For starters, the price tag of the VB99 is $199, so essentially $200. And then for the VB50, you're looking at about $100 currently with the sales that are going on. I know their launch prices were a bit ridiculous, but fast forward to where we are currently, $100 versus $200, what's the better bargain? In terms of ports, over on the VB50, you have a DC out that's an 8 volt, as well as another DC out that's a 12 volt. You have a USB-A port as well as a USB-C. And I forgot what the output wattage is for this, but I'll post that on the screen. And then over here on this side here, you have a DTAP port that is hidden right here. Yep, so you can also charge an accessory via that as well. And then you have the power button on the side. And typically, your V-mount port's right there if you were connecting this to a splitter or so forth. So that's right there on this, the VB99. If I undo this, you have two USB-C ports. One's in and out port, similar to the VB50. That one, you can also charge this battery via USB-C from that USB-C port. And then you have another USB-C port on the left there. You have a USB-A port in the middle. And then you have your 8 and 12 volt DC output port. On the side, you have that DTAP port, same as on the VB50. One aspect that's really nice though that you can't really leverage on the VB50 is they built into the VB99 Pro this mechanism to where you can snap this cover down so that it's not just flapping around when you're out filming on your set, and you can easily have access to those ports. You can't do it for the DTAP port on this model, so that's the only port that would be left flapping essentially, but the top portion is handled. If you were to plug anything in over here, this is what you'd be looking like. You could probably move it off to the side or whatnot, but yeah, you can sort of see what I'm talking about. One thing that is pretty cool about the VB99 Pro is that this accepts dual, or what they call parallel 100 watts charging. So you can charge this via a 100 watt charger, as well as supply up to 100 watts out of this USB-C port right here, which is pretty freaking awesome. Another major difference between these two is the LCD screen. Over here you can see that we have like a little bit of touch of green going on, whereas we have the standard black and white display on the VB50. And you also get a different readout in terms of information. And I'll show you a look of what that looks like. So if I were to slide on the VB50 to this gimbal, and I was to grab, say, this USB-C cord and charge my FX30 camera, well, here on the back, I can see that currently I'm at 97 watts. It's only drawing about 9 volts to go to the FX30, and I'm not sure what the 16.4 volts means, honestly. But yeah, if I click record to actually push this camera a little bit, 16.3 volts. So still not really telling me much, but that's the screen that you get. You can just see what voltage your devices are coming into this camera at, and then you can see from a percentage sign how much battery you have remaining on this VB50. And so I'll unhook this and I'll remove that from the mount adapter. And I'll plug in the VB99. So if I connect this right here to the VB99, I'll see that currently I'm at 100%. So this battery is fully charged. And if I was to do an action, right now it's reading, it would last 20 hours. That's because the camera is currently not doing anything. That's if you're browsing settings, which in many cases wouldn't be the case if you're on set or however you're utilizing this camera. You would likely, be recording. So I'll press the record button to record in 4K at 60 FPS, and I'll see that it will update based on the amount of usage. Like right now, this camera is currently drawing 12.4 watts, and you can see that that reduced down to about 9 hours and 30 minutes. So that's how long this 99 watt battery could charge this camera for, which is pretty nice. Essentially, from doing this a couple of times, you can get about 9.5 to 10 hours with the VB99. And it's nice that you can visually see the remaining time there in that little LCD screen. It's a pretty cool output. Another thing to consider though is, likely a lot of times if you're out shooting or however you're utilizing your camera, like me for instance, I'll have a monitor hooked up to my camera, and that's also going to draw power. So if we just double this draw power, factoring in the camera as well as the monitor, then we're looking at roughly 5 hours of battery that you can power your entire rig, which for many people could be more than enough. Certainly more than enough for me. I think that's pretty nice. But you do have a bit of cushion room, if you need to charge it or so forth, you can do that. So I find that pretty cool. If you were thinking about how much the VB50 would get you, well, you can essentially do the math and just divide it. If you're getting 9 to 10 hours out of usage with this for just the camera itself, well, then you can see yourself getting about 5 to 6 hours just powering the camera alone with the VB50, and that may be more than enough for your use case. But if it comes to powering the monitor as well as your camera, for this device, it would be about 5 hours. So over here, you're looking at 2 to 3 hours of total power time in terms of your monitor and your camera, which again might work for you, but definitely better than carrying around a whole bunch of, Canon or NP, Sony batteries. It's just an annoying process. Easily rechargeable via USB-C, pretty cool. The last thing that I would say in terms of which battery I would go with is if you're looking for something that's really lightweight, the VB50 is significantly lighter than the VB99. Like, I think 2 VB50s might still be a little bit lighter than this VB99. Like, it's packed, and probably because it has this metal, it's made primarily out of metal that's surrounding it or whatnot, whereas with the VB50, it's made out of a lighter material. Feels like plastic or so forth. So you do have that. It's very geared towards lightweight. If you have a small lens that you want to run around with your camera with, this is a really nice combination. For me, in my use case, the VB50 is just a little too small. I want something that's going to get me longer, power my setup for a longer period of time without being excessively heavy or adding significant weight or whatnot. And so for me, the VB100, it does just that. For my instance, I'm not gonna have a small kit lens on this camera that's gonna significantly unbalance this whole setup. I would have on here a Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens, and that's pretty long and also pretty heavy in terms of front weight. And so that's why I find the VB99 being a perfect balance in terms of being able to work with the lens that I plan on putting on this FX30. But there's certainly a fair argument to say that technically you can get a VB99 that's gonna supply you with the same amount of power that the Pro does but for a significantly cheaper price. And that one is one that I actually don't have with me today, but that one's called the VB, SmallRig V-mount battery 99 SE. And it's same size as this battery. It looks like it's a little bit rugged, but it goes for 119 bucks. So 120 versus $100. To me, it sounds like a no-brainer. I just unfortunately like the LCD output and do believe I could take advantage of that 100-watt charging. But for those of you that are looking for a solution that's in the middle, that's a bit of a steal. You just have to determine, is 100 watts of charging worth it for you? Because I believe the max output of that one is like 65 watts, and maybe it's one less USB-C port. I think that's the only difference, but you're still getting the same number of watts for a significantly cheaper price. I will have links in the description if you are at all curious to check out any of these products. They will be affiliate links, so if you do purchase using the link, a portion of what you spend will come to the channel at, of course, no additional cost to you. And that's just what helps me keep pumping out these helpful videos for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel to stay tuned for future videos. In the next video, I will be doing a full build of my little cinema rig for my solo content creator studio setup. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.